Hey everybody, we just launched a brand new Screw Attack t-shirt on the Rooster Teeth store. Just click the link in the description below if you want to pick one up, and it's a great way to support the channel.
Vampires. They're some of the scariest monsters ever imagined. They're insanely fast, they have impossible abilities, and they also want to suck your blood out like you're a pouch of Capri Sun. But sometimes we forget that these things are also immensely powerful as well, and the 10 you see here are not to be messed with. So hey, I'm Nervous Nick for Screw Attack's Top 10 Strongest Vampires.
Number 10.
Death Dealers. Elite hunters found on the front lines of the war between vampires and werewolves. Kicking off this top 10 is one of the greatest death dealers of all, SELENE. This vamp chick is every bit as tough as you'd expect a supernatural bloodsucker to be. But unlike your average creature of the night, she's also insanely talented in combat too. But what do you expect? She's been fighting werewolves for like 600 years. In that span of time, she's made sure to upgrade her arsenal to have everything from small arms to high caliber rifles. Vampires and guns make a surprisingly good combination. Maybe SELENE isn't the only vampire on this list who's figured that out.
Number 9.
In the hit TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you'll find Spike, the slaying vampire. First thing you may be wondering, how did Spike get his name? Some would say that it's because of rumors that he tortured his victims with railroad spikes. Yeah, ouch. But at least Spike can handle taking his fair share of pain too. The man shrugs off close-range shotgun blasts and can even regrow whole limbs in just 24 hours. And when it comes to bringing the pain, Spike is more than happy to return the favor. He's got a bit of a reputation for picking fights, even with slayers. You know, the prophesied ones whose main job is to kill vampires? Spike killed 2 of them before he ever even met Buffy. We love Spike, he's cool and all, but we've got to dock him some points because of the real reason he got his name. Before he turned into a vampire, he wrote poetry so bad that people would rather, quote, have a railroad spike through their ears than listen to more of his writing. Spike, buddy, it's all right, man. Everyone's a critic.
Number 8.
In the Anne Rice universe, only one vampire has turned over a half dozen to his blood-sucking ways, survived for hundreds of years, and played rock music powerful enough to awaken the 6,000-year-old Akasha. This is Lestat de Lioncourt. But Lestat isn't our number 8 vampire, no. It's the actor playing him, Tom Cruise. Think about it, he played a vampire in Interview with the Vampire, but how else do you explain a guy who keeps doing action movies and looks this good at age 55? I'm on to you, Tom. I'm on to you.
Number 7.
You know, there's a certain level of irony when a Nazi vampire creates a half-vampire who winds up spending her time killing Nazis. That level, of course, being maximum irony. RAYNE from the BLOODRAYNE series was pretty much bred to be the ultimate Nazi-eating machine. And what better way is there to slice and dice the Third Reich than with 2 swords mounted on her arms and spiked stiletto heels? No matter which limb she throws your way, you're gonna bleed! RAYNE is also no stranger to guns like her Carpathian dragons. But whether they're using her blood or yours depends solely on if she gets to you. Or I guess if you're even a Nazi to begin with. Don't be a Nazi.
Number 6.
Eric Brooks may be only half vampire, but that makes him full awesome in our book. The man better known as Blade was born with special senses that he chooses to use against other vampires. So yes, he is a vampire hunting half vampire. And like any vampire worth putting on this top 10, Blade is super strong and way faster than any normal man. Pretty useful when you're a one-man army against the blood-sucking masses. He's an expert marksman and is no slouch in hand-to-hand either, but obviously you don't get a name like Blade without being awesome with swords too. And in his movies, Blade could even kill guys so hard that they turned into horrible-looking cartoon skeletons 4 years before the Green Goblin ever did. Blade's ahead of the curve. Combat skills aside though, what makes Blade so cool is that he's always trying to resist the urge to drink blood, while at the same time murdering all the other vampires who don't have his insane level of self-control. Also, he wears shades all the time, and shades are always cool. This is a fact.
Number 5.
I have a legitimate question that I probably don't want the real answer to, but what is this fascination with having sex with vampires? Only reason I'm asking is because number 5 is yet another half-human, half-vampire, Alucard from Castlevania. But hey, for a vampire this awesome, I'm not gonna judge too harshly. Unlike his dad Dracula, Alucard is a good guy who's helped the famous Belmont clan bring down Papa Drac more than once. If my name were my dad's spelled backwards, I'd probably be pretty pissed off too. I'm just saying, I can't imagine going through life named Ecum. But anyway, Alucard wields dark magic which can steal souls, transform him into different animals, or even summon undead warriors to fight at his side. And if you were ever up against an immortal teleporting shape-shifting meteor summoning agent of darkness, hey, you would want those powers too.
Number 4.
Throughout the history of the land of Nosgoth, no vampire has been as fascinating as the one called KAIN. As a pompous, rich dude turned vampire, KAIN has been both a hero and a villain. Like apparently every vampire ever, he's physically superior to normal humans in every way and has even gained godlike powers. Powers which come in handy when your master plan is to have the entire world ruled by vampires. And KAIN succeeded. All of humanity became nothing more than a food supply for vampire kind for thousands of years. Man, the competition for number 1 vampire is getting pretty tough. You might even say that the stakes are being raised.
Number 3.
Of course, the most famous vampire of all time ever was gonna be high on this list. The OG vampire Count Dracula is widely considered the first of his kind, and if you remember from Top 10 Ruthless Kings, he was also inspired by the one and only Vlad the Impaler. Everything that you think of when you picture a vampire came from this dude. Transforming into animals or mist, turning others into vampires by biting them, super strength and speed, like seriously, pretty much all of it started with Dracula. Some versions even portray him as a lord commander of his own undead army, which he uses to exact revenge on mankind. Even a simple look from Count Dracula can put a human into a trance-like state, making the easiest prey of all for the Dark Lord. But with all these awesome powers come the classic weaknesses as well. Poor Count Drac will never know what it's like to watch the sunrise. Sucks for him.
Number 2.
You thought your number 2 vampire would be Edward Cullen, but it's actually this guy, Dio! Alright, enough with the old memes. Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure may come with all of the trappings of a normal vampire, but he's got some crazy techniques of his own. I'm talking about a guy who can cut through stone just by looking at it, or zap the heat from any living thing and freeze it. Dio can even create parasites from his hair that can eat other people's brains. You know, the classic move. Plus there's teleportation, hypnosis, regeneration, and even the power to stop time. Yep, Dio is a ruthless megalomaniac vampire with the ability to control time. Who can possibly top that?
It's number 1.
No matter where you look, vampires are insanely powerful creatures. So how do you make them even more bonkers? Anime vampires. I know, right? 2 vampires named Alucard on the same list? But Hellsing's Alucard is a whole nother beast altogether. This is a vampire who can become completely intangible. This is a vampire who can regenerate his entire body from nothing but a pool of blood. This is also a vampire who can manipulate the quantum physics of our reality. This lets him become a massive shadowy hellhound called Baskerville so that he can eat his enemies. I'll cut to the chase though. By the end of the series, Alucard absorbs Schrodinger's soul. Yes, it actually does exist in Alucard's world, and also, it made Alucard completely omnipotent. As in, the only way Alucard ever ceases to exist is if Alucard himself wills it. That's the spookiest vampire of all time. Our secret number 11 goes to another vampire with the power of hypnotism. Not hypnosis by looking at you, but with boxes of cavities. Count Chocula may not turn your poop pink like other monster cereals, but come on! It's chocolate cereal with chocolate marshmallows! That is so bad for you!